Hello Retro fam, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are bringing something completely different to the channel. We'll be looking at the story of a young attacking midfielder called Luc, a Cameroonian Belgian player. This series will cover 2 or 3 matches per episode, with filler storylines in between. Me and the team worked really hard on this one, even the storyline, and I won't lie, we're having a lot of fun creating it. Think of it like a comic series, mixed with Become a Legend. Like I said, this took a lot of team effort, so a sub would mean a lot, and a like on the video helps show us if you're enjoying the series and want to see it continue. Without talking too much more, let's jump into this one.
Before any of it, before the contracts, before his name meant anything, Luc Peeters was just a kid with a ball and 2 worlds he was still learning to carry at the same time. His father's house sounded like match commentary and Sunday League arguments. His mother's side of the room sounded like a language he was still catching up on and calls to a country he'd only seen in photographs. Chantal Mbaga didn't grow up with safety nets. She grew up watching what happened to boys who were told they were special, and nobody had a plan for them when they weren't anymore. Thomas Peters had coached enough kids to know the difference between talent and this, and once he saw it in his own son, he couldn't unsee it. They didn't fight about it in front of him, not usually, but Luc had gotten good at hearing things through walls. His mother wanted grades that could carry him if football didn't. His father didn't think "if" belonged in the same sentence as his son's name. He never told either of them he could hear it. He just got quieter about which one he agreed with, and kept that to himself for a long time. Matthias worshipped him the way little brothers do. Anouk, older, from a different mother, a different house most weeks, was harder to read. He was there. He just wasn't sure yet where "there" fit. 14 years old, and the first official piece of paper with his name on it wasn't a school report. His father read it twice before he said a word. Academy life ran on its own clock. Early mornings, long drives, weekends that belonged to fixtures instead of family. Somewhere in that schedule, the calls to his mother's side of the family started getting shorter. Not skipped, just shorter. She never said it outright, but Chantal was the kind of mother who noticed exactly which parts of her son were quietly going missing, long before anyone else did. 2 years is long enough to grow into a body that finally matches the talent everyone kept talking about. It's also long enough to grow a little further from the parts of yourself nobody was coaching you on. 2 years of academy football, and the boy who once argued through walls with nobody but himself was about to become someone a Ligue 1 club wanted to sign. The call came on a Tuesday. Nobody in that house agreed on much, but for one evening they didn't need to. Where he came from was never really in question. Where he was going, that was about to get a lot more complicated. "22. Not the number that gets remembered. The number that has to earn the right to be. 3 friendlies, 3 defeats. Not a single goal between them, in any shirt, at any end of the pitch. And each time, before the final whistle, Luc was already walking off. Preseason doesn't count. Everybody kept saying that. Luc was starting to wonder who they were really trying to convince. Opening day. His name wasn't even on the bench. Nobody in that house said, "I told you so." Nobody needed to. He was sitting in the room with them, right next to the final score. Second match, and this time his name was on the team sheet. For 18 minutes, he got his chance. Can he deliver?
There's the whistle. Lorient, a reasonable start to the season. A draw first up. And he In towards the middle. That's a good block, but at the expense of a corner. And it's hoisted clear. Drilled in low. He scored! Lorient have an early lead. Good start. Back into the middle. Keeper's ball. Pressure so far, Jim.
They're ahead, but they're not playing as if they are. There seems to be a...
Shot a goal! They've done it! They have done it! They have their equaliser!
Yeah, the pass was bang on, and he just had to ensure he didn't stray offside. The finish was actually bang on too. Goal saving.
He's left his man. Room for a shot. He'll have a dip! It's missed, but not by that far.
Yeah, he may have snatched it down a bit, even though it was quite close.
The change. Chance. Looking for a decent ball in. Oh, he's got a crucial block in there. Aubameyang. And now has a pop. Goal! Marseille! They've done it! It was coming! They have their reward! Oh, high-quality goal. Lovely first touch. Sumptuous second. Lorient have to get it into the box and quickly. Going for goal! And that is the end of it. They hung on right till the finish. Well, that does not help. Interpret the performance as you will, but the key truth is that they lost. So what do you take away from it all, Jim?
Lorient can be quite proud of themselves despite the result, and I'm pleased to listen to the applause they're receiving for a gutsy show.
Well, that's the lot for now. Thanks to you, Jim, and goodbye.
He didn't deliver it. Nobody said he was bad. Nobody said he was ready either. 3 matches, 2 defeats, 1 narrow win, and Luc's name in none of the 18. Lorient dropped into the relegation zone, and somewhere in the middle of that slide, an 18-year-old with a shiny new number on his back had played 20 minutes of first-team football in an entire month. 20 minutes doesn't leave much room to prove anything. It leaves plenty of room to doubt everything. New month, new team sheet. For the first time since pre-season, his name wasn't just on it. It was starting on it. Something about tonight felt different.
That just may have an impact on a football match that has been much anticipated. It's dry at the moment, but the forecast is that it will be wet, perhaps very wet by the time the game is underway, and certainly by the time of the second half. The crowd, though, are here, and they are in good form. There's a right old cacophony going on. The atmosphere's terrific, and kickoff is moments away. Well, this really is a great venue. It adds so much character to every game it stages. So it's down to business here. plays it long. In with a header! Oh, he did the hard... Goes for goal! That is wayward.
He trapped it expertly, Peter, and released it very differently.
And goes back. And the finish! He scored! And it's Lorient who take the lead.
Well, none of us were exactly sure how that was going to end up then, but I'm delighted to see such a happy ending after such a splendid dribbling run. I mean, he really did fool that defence into wondering what he was going to do next.
Lorient break the deadlock.
And that ought to be the trigger for a really exciting...
The shot's on! Danger averted for now. A really good feat from him. Shoots! Saved only by poor finishing.
Well, he did get himself into a good position, something for him to cling to. Well, 1-0 may be good enough, so they may err on the side of caution and get more players behind the ball instead of running beyond it. They could even try to...
Can he finish? Clearance and cushioned by the confidence of a narrow win in their last game. And a shot! He's done very well to get to that.
Well, what can I say? Truly wonderful goalkeeping.
Long and direct. Crosses in a low one. Wide now. Keeps everyone guessing. He's got options in the box if he gets his head up.
Definitely not going down without a scrap. Their attitude just can't be faulted.
Has a swing at it! Big relief, it just needed better contact.
Nice just served up a reminder of how good they can be on the break. Their method is clear.
Change. Brings it forward. Dante demonstrates his quality. The final whistle. Lorient hold on. It's a narrow squeak, bit of luck, some judgment. 1-0 the score at the final whistle. And thanks to Jim, we both wish you a very good evening.
First goal, first man of the match. What was going through your head out there?
Honestly, I wasn't thinking, I just trusted it. That's all I could do.
It was the first time anyone outside his family had asked him a question about his own life. It wouldn't be the last. His first man of the match, his first goal, his first time being carried by a room instead of standing on the edge of it. Two people who couldn't agree on how he'd get here. For one night at least, they didn't need to talk about that at all. One match doesn't make a career, but it's usually where one starts.